he makes the journey longer and a little bit more complicated for himself, knowing that there are animals, the mushriks, the unbelievers, who are running, chasing after him to kill him. Instead of going fast and directly to a place of safety, he made a different route, knowing that they may catch up to him and they may catch him. But he went off and he went to a place that is very important and holy and sacred in Islam for 1400 years. That those Wahhabi shaitans, because they are shaitans, they don't like anything that is holy. They don't like anything that is holy. They take a cement and they covered up the entrance of that cave. And that cave that we're talking about is the cave of Thawr, correct? That the Prophet ﷺ went into the cave with Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu an. It is a very long story. It is a story that is filled with miracles. It is a story that is filled with faith. It is a story that is filled with the love of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, the second of the two in the cave, the second in creation. And in that cave, so many things happen. In that cave, when they crept inside, and Hazrat Abu Bakr could hear the animals in human form, those mushriks, those killers that were coming to kill the Holy Prophet ﷺ, outside. And if they had only just looked down, put their hand in, they would have touched him. And Allah then made those doves to quickly build a nest in the mouth of the cave, and the spider came and built a web across it. And the mushriks, they said it is impossible that he is inside. It didn't strike them to look. They say it's impossible. Why are we even going to bother? Otherwise, these birds would have flown away, their nest would have been disturbed, and that spider's web would have been broken. But that spider's web is charged. There's not a spider. There is another creature there. Those birds are another creatures too. That if they were to come close to that, they would have been punished and killed by those ones. And that spider's web is filled with thousands of volts. If they were just to touch, they would have been perished into non-existence. They brought a guide, and that guide said what? He is here. It says either he's here in the cave, or he went up, or he went down. They didn't even try to check. Hazrat Abu Bakr, he was hearing that, and he was crying. Holy Prophet ﷺ woke up and says, Ya Abu Bakr, why are you so fearful? He says, Ya Rasulullah, you think Hazrat Abu Bakr was scared? He wasn't scared. Why Prophet was saying that? He was teaching us 1400 years to know that all these incidents, all these so-called stories, we're going to speak and to say to our children and our grandchildren, and we're going to take lessons from it, continuous treasures and jewels from it until Judgment Day, never finishing. Prophet knew Hazrat Abu Bakr is not scared. He's been with him for how many years in Mecca? 13 years. How is going to be just scared? 13 years, he put his life there. There was a time that he was there with the Holy Prophet ﷺ. He was beaten up so badly, he was unconscious for days. And when he woke up, the first thing he said was, how is my friend? How is the Prophet? He was concerned about that. That is the kind of love that Tariqat teaches the murids to have for their Shaykh. The way that the Sahabis, the way that Hazrat Abu Bakr have to say to their Prophet, the way that they said to their Prophet, the way that we are going to say to our Shaykh who's representing that Prophet, may our parents be sacrificed for you. May our children be sacrificed for you. May everything be sacrificed for you. That is when you take their teachings and you put it in your life. And they're not just stories that you hear, but you don't put it there for real. And Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq saying, Ya Rasulullah, I'm fearing not for myself but for you. If they come, I will not be able to protect you maybe. Holy Prophet ﷺ saying, Ya Abu Bakr, don't be afraid. Allah is with us. If they come through this direction, we're going to escape through here. And he pointed to his back, and the back wall of the cave suddenly disappears, and appearing a shore and an ocean forever. And there was a ship there waiting for them. He says, we're going to escape through there. So Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, radiallahu anhu, in that cave where so many things happen, in that cave where the first zikr of this Naqshbandi order happened, where there was a command given from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the Prophet ﷺ, saying, now call all those ones who are going to be in this way, the way of the Prophet through the way of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq. So all our grand sheikhs and all our sheikhs and all their murids then appeared in the spiritual form. We made the first zikr there. We were there. We just don't remember. Same way, we were our mother's womb, correct? Do we remember? No. Before our mother's womb, we were somewhere else too. Do we remember? No. Why not? Does it make it unreal because we just don't remember? No. There's something wrong with us, not something wrong with that reality. So then in that cave, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed the Holy Prophet ﷺ his whole nation. And his nation was the biggest nation from all 124,000 prophets. And they were beautiful. And he was happy. And he started smiling. Then Allah shows how his nation now, especially in the Akhir Zaman, they're going to commit every wrong thing that all the nations of the earlier prophets they committed. His nation is going to commit, and that bright, beautiful nur turns dark and ugly, and the Prophet starts crying. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying then what? In that cave, giving the Prophet his charge, his responsibility, saying to them, O my beloved Prophet, O my Habib, now your work, your job, your responsibility is to return them to me the way that I created them, in ahsani taqwim, in the most perfect form. And even Holy Prophet ﷺ saying, Ya Rabbi, it is difficult for me to do this alone. Which is when then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent from him, for him, the help especially of the 40 grand sheikhs of the Naqshbandi order and the sheikhs. So now our work is what? Although we love our sheikh so much, does it make sense now? For example, I love my sheikh so much, I'm so overcome by emotion, like so many of you, so emotional. But when it comes to a test of your sheikh, and to take care of each other, which is called, I've said this so many times, which is an amanat. You're not taking care of the amanat around you. You're going around breaking everything. Maybe Shaykh Effendi took years to build something. I'm witness of that. But people just coming without any authority, without any knowledge, without any experience, just coming in and breaking things. It is wrong. Maybe I get so emotional. Does it make sense now? I say, oh, I cannot do anything else. I just want to sit and be with my Shaykh. I just want to sit and cry and make zikr and just be with him. Maybe it fits to some people who are not normal, who are childish, who are irresponsible. Because we have a work to do, isn't it? And it is not our work. It is the work of who? Of our Shaykh. You think he will be happy with my show of love, that I leave everything and I just stay with him? He'll be very upset with me. I know that. But so many of us, we are doing that. So now, there is the love. Then there is the work that shows the love. Then there is the work that is the proof of that love. If you are not doing that work, there's no proof of your love. It's just a word. You love your Shaykh, you must love everyone whom he loves, and you must love everyone who loves him. So, there is a work, there is a job. And Allah, there is a work, there is a job, there is a purpose. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us for a purpose. He has created ins and jinns to know us and to worship us. To know Allah and to worship Allah. I'm using us as in Allah is saying. To know us and to worship us. So that is the work. That is the purpose. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was doing with Sayyidina al-Awwalil Akhirin before that is none of my business. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to do with Sayyidina Mustafa after that is none of my business too. Don't go around searching because you are not him. It's none of your business. Don't, as it is, it's none of people's business to go around to see how lovers are. Isn't it? Isn't it? To see what they do in private. But these days people are asking other people private things. Especially in the dargah, it is forbidden. There is a haram look and there is a salam look. You don't mix the two up. You don't ask anything that is private to each other. I've never heard men going around asking, oh, how about you? What is your wife doing? It is forbidden. It is forbidden for the wives to go around talking about their husbands too, or for others to ask. This you have to know. This you have to learn. Maybe you pick up wrong things. Maybe you don't know. You should know. Because if you're watching our Shaykh and you're watching his work, you're watching those who are representing him, it should come directly to your heart. It should just hit your heart like that. You don't have to ask too many things. You don't have to know. It's there staring at your face. Only if your Qibla is there. You're watching, you're understanding. But if you're busy with illusion and delusion, then that time, I say one, and you're going to say, no, that is a finger. When I say, I point to that, then you're going to say, oh, you're making shahadat. You understand? Don't. First, you know how to use the 5 senses properly, use that. Later, try to, if it is given to you, in these days it is not. If it is given to you, then try to use your 6th sense. These days people don't even use the 5 senses and they don't have common sense. This is coming from what? This is also coming from arrogance, saying, I know, You don't know. And worse now, they're saying, as they used to during Sheikh Effendi's time, Sheikh, you don't know, I know. You don't see these things, I see these things. You don't know what's happening in there, I know. You don't know what's happening in others' hearts, I know. Maybe you should check their hearts. Are you understanding what you're saying? Are you understanding what kind of games Shaitan is playing with you? You better wake up. Because these are the things, the poisons that come. You don't care so much about others or Jamaats, it's going to poison your heart. It's going to poison your heart against your guide. Very easily it is going to do that. Because if the most precious thing in the eyes of the Prophet ﷺ, other than his Rabb, is the Ummah, then the most precious thing for a Shaykh is the Jama'at that he has left. Instead of taking care of each other, people are just being very crazy and unthinking and clumsy with each other. Stop that before things start crushing on your head that time. So, a few things that we have to know on this holy night. This is how you're going to make the night to be holy, the days to be holy too. Nights are not going to be holy so much just because you sit and you worship. You sit and you worship. You make tahajjud whole night long, but morning time, minute you wake up, you start spreading confusion. Or you start saying things that other people are just going to be upset, knowing that you have no authority to speak. It's wrong. Everything is going to be cancelled at that time. And instead of being a blessing, a punishment is going to come. This is for you and this is for me. This is for men and this is for women. Do not interfere. Otherwise, you are going to find out, believe it or not, as you like again. If you do it, it's going to benefit you. If you don't do it, I'm not the one who's going to lose. These words are for you and for me. Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum.